All right, hey, Baba Booey. Testing 1, 2, 3. All right, cool. Hello. This will be the tutorial, I suppose, for the NEPC Avatar to a quest. Yeah. Basically, a lot of people don't know how easy it is to make any PC avatar basically quest compatible. I'm not going to say it's going to look phenomenal on quest. It will look. They'll be able to see what you look like on quest. So basically, hard limitation for quest needs to be under 10 megabytes. That's about the only hard limitation currently. Your avatar will be filtered off by default, but they can just show. They can just like show avatar. See, like the avatars can be forced to show by clicking on each user and clicking show avatar. That's if it's above 20,000 polygons. If it is below that 20,000 polygon, it will be shown like by default, or if it is poor or less on quest. The hard limitations do not exist for very poor or higher. So if you're just kind of fine with having everyone on quest show your avatar, you can just ask them to show you, and pray to God they don't crash. So yeah, there are no hard limitations for material slots, polygons, bones, mesh renderers, or skin mesh renderers. However, you're basically going to need to optimize it in Blender for the sake of not crashing any quest user that shows your avatar. So for the sake of tutorial's purpose, I've got Blender pulled up. Wow. But I'm going to clear the scene. I'm going to import a fresh VRM. Where the frick did I save it? So import model. I see it on my desktop under tutorial. Tutorial, cool. This is the fresh VRM I just created with VRChat Studio. It will appear in Blender like this. You can go up here. If you don't know how Blender works, these are your view modes. Right? So this is how it is currently. If you go to like this little box and enable statistics, you can see it has 69,000 polygons, which are the triangles basically over here. I can't really show that any better. If I have editing software that can zoom in on that, boom, easy. But polygons in VRChat are counted by the triangle count. So if you enable statistics, that's where it'll be. I'm going to disable them currently. And there's this magic fix model button. If you import a fresh VRM, you're going to do that. Wow, cool. Fresh VRM, there's that. Next thing's next. You're going to generate material list with the Cats plugin. So getting here, there's usually a little, it will sometimes be just like this. You won't see anything on your Blender. I'm using 2.92. Don't think I said that earlier. You can either click this little tiny arrow there to bring it out, or you can press N on your keyboard. There'll be the Cats thing down here. That's how I also got the fix model, all that jazz. So optimization, this is the fun stuff. Here are all of your materials. And for quest, you're going to need to remove one of them. At least for VRChat, so anything with that requires a cutout shader, it's best just to remove it. Specifically for the eye highlights. So zooming into the eyes, how they have the highlights on them, those will look horrible if they do not have a cutout shader. It's easier just to remove them. The way you remove it, you want to go to model options. You're going to separate everything by each individual material. Once it's done with that, you can select the eye. That's the iris. That's the sclera. Where is the highlight? There it is. You can select the eye highlight and just delete it. Your eyes will look slightly dead. However, it will look better than what you were going to deal with. Okay. Anything else that uses a cutout shader, you can't really use. So the rest of this is fine. You can just go ahead and hit join meshes all. And once that is finished, thank you. Once that is finished, you are set to work on the atlasing for textures. The way I atlas textures is everything that is similar, I like to keep together. So for a quest, I try my best to have 4 material slots. So I usually have... I start by renaming all these to something I can remember they all are. So this is just mouth. This could just be iris, skin, sclera, brow, eyeliner, or eyeline, whatever this is. Skin 2, cloth 2, shoes, cloth 3. Okay, so items that are very similar, I combine. So hair goes with hair. I also put hair with clothing just because I don't ever really do anything with it. So hair and clothing I always put together. And you don't want to create one massive texture atlas for the main reason that you're going to have to resize the image itself in Unity for the image to not just be massive. So separating different textures by, I guess, size is better. At least that's what I've always done. I'm gonna save this atlas. It will ask you for a folder. I've got a tutorial folder here. It will start rendering in Blender a little differently. Don't worry about that. That's fine. It'll be fine in the end. So with the mouth, the skin, sclera, iris, I usually put all those together. Honestly, the iris and sclera can go together, and then the rest should be able to fit by themselves. You kind of want like 3 or 4 equally sized atlases. As long as you've deleted those highlights, it shouldn't have really mattered, because the rest of the materials on a Vroid, at least for my Vroid, do not use a cutout shader. So you should be fine just kind of grabbing things of similar sizes and creating atlases for them. Then the last couple, I will do this. And with this, there have been 3 texture atlases created, which 3 material slots should be fine. If you are really curious in how they look, go to UV editing tab up top. And you can kind of zoom into your avatar here. And then just kind of select like part of the face. And here's how some of the atlases are going to look. Okay, pretty basic. It has a lot of empty space, but it's fine. Next things next, you want to save a backup. Because sometimes Blender just crashes and you want to save backups. Tutorial.blend, easy enough. I always export as FBX. I've just always used FBX. I believe OBJ also works, but FBX is the file format that I'm the most familiar with. Oh, snap. With VRM files, you need to create the Visemes using these. So you need and I use E for create Visemes. Okay. Again, this is if you had an item that you wanted to use as like a... How do I explain this? So if you have a toggleable, like say a gun in your hand, right? And you don't want 2 meshes, what you can do is combine the meshes and create a Viseme. It's a bit difficult to just explain. I don't have a gun to show. Do I have a Santa hat? Give me just one moment. So just imported this hat to show you how to do shape key toggles. So I have separated again everything by the material. So these 3 can be rejoined. I'm pressing Ctrl J to join them. That we have the avatar down here, and we have a hat. Okay, I want to toggle the hat on and off, like so. But I want to do it when they're both combined. It's impossible to do it when they're both combined unless you do it a specific way. So what I normally do, I can start pose mode. I usually pose like nothing to a shape key. Actually, no. I usually pose a blank thing to a shape key. Say, call it hat off. All right. And then you want to go down here after select exiting pose mode. So you just hit stop pose mode. Select your avatar. Go down here to this little triangle thing here, object data properties. Scroll down to where you have hat off. Okay. And what you want to do is just click the mesh that you want off. I guess it has a shape key here as well. You want to press tab to go to edit mode. Press A to select all. You have the scale button. You want to scale that all the way down. You know, just all the way down. And then you want to move it inside the head. You know, no one can see the hat in there, right? But the problem is I just did all that wrong. So undo that. Down here, you're going to select the shape key for hat off. Make sure it's actually selected first. I forgot to do that. So all the way down, make it super short, super small, inside the head. Now when basis is pressed, the hat is there. And when hat off is pressed, or when hat off is like selected, the hat will turn itself off. So now what you can do is combine all materials again, join meshes. Now you have one mesh, okay? The hat is applied to the mesh. However, when you select hat off, and you're gonna turn that value all the way up, the hat's gone. And that's how you do shape key toggles. I might as well keep it on, honestly. Not a huge problem for me to have that. It'll just be nice to show you how I set it up in Blender, or how I set it up in Unity. You know, if you find something useful out of this, it'll be that, I suppose. This oddly placed hat on this avatar. So now that we have everything set up here, I have atlased all of my materials. I have 4 materials total. One being for the new hat that I added just recently. I'm going to resave the Blender file. And now I'm going to export as FBX over top the tutorial FBX. Okay, so now we have to do it in Unity. Unity is the fun part, where everything comes together. You're gonna create a new scene. Right? Your assets, you're gonna create a new folder. It's a good habit to have. Name this, like, not tutorial, but whatever you have. Probably quest. You're going to import several assets. You're going to go to desktop. Well, not your wherever you saved the atlases that you had earlier, you're going to grab those as well as the tutorial FBX or whatever file you have for your avatar, mind you. Then you're going to, I guess, create a new material for each and every one of these. Again, this is just like a basic tutorial. Oh no. I have no script for this. This is me walking myself through how I would upload an avatar. Okay, several things first. You're going to create a material for every one of those. So we're going to create 4 materials. I like to name every one of my materials the exact same thing that the atlas is named, just so I can search them up better. So I hit F2, Control C, F2, Control V. Quite simple. Last one. Going to drag it all into the albedo. If I'm not stupid. There we go. Thank you. And now, in here, we're going to make sure that we have 179 49091. Basically, you're going to match your atlases to the material slots here. After creating the material slots for them. No, I need 582. 87. Thank you. And you're going to go to model, Read write enabled. Legacy blend shape normals on. I believe that's all you have to do. On alongside rig humanoid apply. Alright, and now you can just drag tutorial in, and it will look like this currently. Now you can control select all of your materials, go to the VRChat menu, mobile. I always use Toonlit because it looks fairly nice. Just looks fairly nice. And the way it stands, this will not upload. First things first, you're gonna need your VRChat avatar descriptor, adjust the view position to right between those eyes. Lip sync mode, detect. It detected it all because we set that up in Blender earlier. You can enable eye look, it's just fine. You should have your eye bones quite easily. L and R. I don't ever work on rotation state. Sure, we'll make him calm and shy. But this is exactly how the avatar will look on the quest. And the problem with Vroid avatars is you can tell that something's a bit off with the face. And that's because the eyebrows specifically all use cutout shaders. So if you are really dedicated to making a good if you're dedicated to making a good looking quest avatar, you're going to have to model some new eyebrows. I'm not doing that, so people on Quest can kind of just deal with this. Again, this is just getting the avatar to be seen on Quest. They are aware of the limitations they bought themselves into. Also, you have no backface culling. You cannot turn that off with the shaders. However, everything else I'm about to do, you can do. So with the shape key toggle on the body, with blend shapes, you can animate hat off to be always on 100, and then when you want the hat on, to set it to 0. That's how kind of Quest people do toggles. All right, that's how Quest people do toggles. With the builder, yeah, you need streaming map maps enabled. Boom, easy. Just kind of hit auto fix on some of those things. And it's going to ask to build and publish for Android. So if you're building and publishing something for Android, it will publish to Quest. Now the way that we do, let me save this scene quickly, and then I will show you with another model. Tutorial. Okay, tutorial saved. I will open one of my other avatars. I really don't want to show it, everything that's in there. I'm going to find one of my older models that I have recently made Quest compatible, and I'll explain how Quest compatibility works. Okay, so with Lady Fantasy, I'll do it with Lady Fantasy. Why not? I've got to fix all this, don't I? Pro and Poyomi Pro. Cool. Okay, so this is the avatar that I've recently made for PC. It is PC, it's got all these dynamic bones and stuff. It has particle systems, all the fancy jazz. If I enable it and I hit play, it just does random emotes, right? That's not gonna fly on Quest. All right. I think some particles work on Quest according to the documentation online. However, not all of them do. You're gonna delete all the particle systems, all the dynamic bones, and then you're going to make a Quest version of that. You're gonna save the scene as like a different scene. So you upload the PC avatar you want, right? After you upload this PC avatar, in the bottom right, way down, well actually where the frick is it? Under the pipeline manager, you're going to have a blueprint ID. I'm going to, honestly, I might have to blur that. Oh well, I don't know how this works. So, I know it's a private avatar, it doesn't matter. So the blueprint ID. This is your key. You're gonna save this. You can save it, or you can go to your content manager here, scroll down through it till you find the avatar you want. Say this one is called Lady Fantasy, something like that, for Final Fantasy. So you're going to copy the ID for that. So just click this copy ID button. After you click that copy ID button, it will just copy it to your clipboard. On your second avatar that you create, so on the second avatar you create, you're going to paste that in to the new blueprint ID under the new pipeline manager. And then if you upload the new avatar to Android, it will let the people on Quest see that version, and PC version, it won't override the PC version. If that makes sense, I sure hope to God it does. Because I'm pretty bad at it, explaining beyond that. What else was I going to explain? Content manager, yes, I did that. So no dynamic bones, no particles. Oh yeah, your texture compression. So when I showed you the texture for tutorials here, whenever we all imported it, this is just how it imports manually. If your avatar is too large because of just a little bit over, you can go over here, turn that max size down, say 1024, you know, low quality. I always have my avatars on point, no filter, just because I think it looks better, but that's just a personal thing. Other than that, you pray your avatar is small enough. I think that's all I really have shown. You don't need to decimate, but it is highly recommended. So back in Blender, with decimation, there's a whole tab for it where you can do like smart decimation, quest decimation. I don't recommend quick decimation because your avatar will end up looking like, I'll show you. Like that. I don't think quest people deserve to see that. They really don't. Like, I don't think they've done anything that wrong to deserve seeing that. So, I don't ever do like quick decimation that way. Honestly, I've seen people with Quest 2 can run like 50k polys just fine, right around there. But yeah, that's a lot of basic things, I guess, that you can kind of put together. Questions I can just answer, ask them away. Comments could, or if anyone sees this video on YouTube, dear God, if anyone finds this video on YouTube, that would be interesting, I'll say. But I know it probably have some questions regarding uploading avatars. So just to reiterate, once you upload your PC version of your avatar, you're going to create a new scene, basically recreate the avatar with all of the atlas saying all the decimation you've done to it. And then you're going to switch your build target to Android. Whenever you're on Windows, you'll say switch build target to Android. And then you're going to go to the pipeline manager of the new avatar, and you're going to paste that blueprint ID. Okay? And then once you paste that blueprint ID and build it to Android, that will not overwrite the PC version and allow people in Quest to see that version you just created. But at the exact same time, PC players see your avatar. Hopefully that makes sense. I just wanted to put something out there because there exists very, very few tutorials on how to do all this. Hopefully I remember how to chop this up. I'll learn how to edit and all that jazz, and hopefully audio's fine. It's a lot of hopes and dreams, eh? And yeah. So, thank you for listening, watching. Hopefully questions have been answered. Hopefully no more questions were added to your pile of questions. And see you whenever I get around to making a new video or something. Okay, bye-bye. Oh, that was such a cringy outro.